But to talk a little bit about my near-death experience, you can do it in a little bit. It's a 3-hour lecture.
At least can you say about, because I think this is a question for everybody else, everybody thinks how Hashem can see all of us in 1 second. And you had that experience, maybe you can just mention that part of it.
The reality is, Hashem sees everything that moves. We don't see it because we are in bodies. And when I had my near-death experience, you should really, it's very, very long. You should either, I have CDs you can take and listen or watch, or go online and listen to it. But the short, very short version of it is that I had a cardiac arrest. I had like a heart attack. And my heart stopped for 7 minutes, and my Neshamah left my body. And when it left my body, first of all, I was hovering over my body. Looking down, I saw the whole thing. And one of the first things, that it was in a taxi. And I was driving in the taxi with my girlfriend, and when I got the heart attack, I fell on her. So my body was on her. And when I was looking down, my body was on the girl. I saw like the taxi, the whole thing. And suddenly I felt like I'm like diving into her body, and I saw her entire life from the moment she was born till that day. I was in her body, and I was reading her thoughts and feeling her feelings, and I knew everything about her. And I didn't see her life like a movie, that you're sitting like this and you're like looking at a movie. It was like I was in her body. So anything that she thought, I thought. Every feeling that she had, I felt. And I saw thousands and thousands of scenes with no order. It wasn't like baby 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thousands of different scenes. And it happened like in a split second. It wasn't time. So it looked like a split second, and at the same time it looked like a whole life. But as this was happening, I was like being pulled up and higher and higher and higher, and I was going like a balloon going up. So at some point I was like the height of like maybe 20 or 30 buildings, and the car was driving in Manhattan, and I was flying over the car. And I was so high that I went through the buildings. I was flying over the city. And the buildings like didn't have windows, and didn't have walls. Like I understood what's going on, but the building, it lost its physicality. So I was like going through the buildings, and instantly, like I saw this girl's life, I saw hundreds and hundreds of people in these apartments. Like you look at a building and you see like a wall and a lot of windows. Imagine now you remove the wall, and then you see what's going on in the apartments. Like little girls, they have like a Barbie home, so the outside looks like the home, and then you turn it around and you see the rooms. So as I was going through the buildings, I see like thousands and thousands of people, and I read their minds, and I know what's going on in their hearts. I know everything, like as if I'm sitting in this room and I know all of you, what you're thinking. And not only what you're thinking, every little detail about you. What's your name, where you were born, what's your favorite color, what you had for breakfast. Every little detail for everybody, like as if I'm scanning one by one. And when I told my wife this story, now this is a very long story. If you never heard it, then I definitely suggest you go to my website and watch the video. Or if you want to have CDs, listen to the CD. But when I went on my first date with my wife, I told her this story. So I was like 70% religious, and then the rabbi thought it's going to be a good match, puts us together, we go to a date, and then she tells me, I hear you have some crazy story, how you became religious. So I told her, yeah. So I started telling her the story. And later on, she told me that the next day after the story, that she threw her pants away, started wearing dresses. And she told me that she grew up very secular in America, very, very secular. And then when she went to college, she met a rabbi, and the rabbi started inviting her to a Shabbat meal, and then to a party, and then to a class, and slowly started to get her close to religion. And then she told me that for 10 years, she couldn't become observant. She was like, I believed there's a God, I believed there's a Neshamah in my body, I believe there's Olam Haba, world to come. I believed it. I came to believe all this. But I couldn't become observant. And she told me what stopped me from becoming observant was that I couldn't understand how it can be that there are 7 billion people in the world. And God knows everybody. How can He know everybody? How can God know 7 billion people and the generation before was 7 billion, then the generation before 6.5 billion, and the generation before 6.25? How can He know so many people? And she'll me, no, forget about all the people in the world. Let's just concentrate on the Jews. So you want to tell me that on Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, 3 million Jews are in a synagogue all praying, and God can hear 3 million people? How can you hear 3 million people? How? So she said, it can be. And she told me, I understand, maybe Kadosh Baruch Hu knows the famous ones. But me? Why would He know me? And if He doesn't know me, so why should I bother? Why should I do anything? Why should I be dressed modest? What, He's looking at me? Why should I say a blessing when I put something in my mouth? The Master of the universe created the world, and He cares if I say a blessing when I put something in my mouth? Why does He care? But she told me, when you told me that you're like flying in the air, and you went through the buildings, and you saw each building, what's going on in, and you read everybody's minds, and you know what they're feeling, and you know everything about them, she told me, it made me realize and understand how so much more so the Master of the universe, who created the world, knows everything. And the reality is that like a little ant doesn't even walk on the grass without the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Master of the universe, knows where's the ant going. Millions and trillions of animals walking around the world, the Kadosh Baruch Hu knows every animal where they are, every human being, anything. Trillions and trillions of details are being processed every second. Kadosh Baruch Hu knows everything. You know, the Kadosh Baruch Hu knows animals and creatures, so much more so human being, and so much more so a Jew with a holy Neshamah that for 1 second throughout the day stops the day and says, Shakol niya bidvaro, put something in his mouth, one little bracha. A Jew stops his life for 1 second to say Shakol niya bidvaro, the Master of the universe stops the world. What? He said a blessing? I can't believe it. He thanked me. He remembered me. Like a king, running a whole kingdom. Suddenly his little boy comes and just says, Daddy, I want a lollipop. What? That's how Hashem looks at us. We think that my actions are worthless. Kadosh Baruch Hu knows my thoughts all day long. And your thoughts are being recorded. In my near-death experience, they took me to the heavenly court. They showed me everything. They showed me a movie of my life. From the moment I was born till that day. A movie of my life. And everything was pointed out. Here he lied, here he stole, here he cheated. Every thought that I ever had in my life, all the souls were standing there, looking. Reading my records. That's how it is. There's no secrets in Shamayim. In this world, your mind is covered with a skull. So you don't know what I'm thinking. And you don't know what I'm feeling. And you don't know what really I think about you. That's how it works in this world. You think one thing, you say another thing. But this only is covered because we have these bodies. The soul leaves the body and it meets all the other souls. Oh, I know what you were thinking about me. I know what you were feeling about me. That's why I told you before. Emet, just truth. Because one day you're going to have to deal with the dirty laundry. Like a shemerachem, a husband or a wife cheats on the husband or the wife. 20 years, nobody knows. Wait for the day that it's going to be open. They show you the pictures. So that's how it works in Shamayim. You think 20, 40, 60 years, you can do whatever you want. Then you go up to Shamayim, they show you the records. Here, it's you. Now you can't say it wasn't me. You know, now technology comes to the world to teach us how it looks in Shamayim. So everywhere we see now cameras. Every corner there's a camera. Can't get away with nothing. And everybody has cameras. You walk in with a camera. All day long, you have a camera on you. Go to YouTube. Millions and millions of videos of nonsense. Because people have cameras. So the Kadosh Baruch Hu has cameras everywhere. They bring you up to Shamayim, they tell you, oh, here's the record, let's pull the record. That's why in this world you want to be straight. You want to be honest. You want to be good. You want to do all these good things. You want to do, first of all, you have to follow the Torah. I mean, the Torah is not a recommendation. You drive now in the streets, the light turns red, you stop. It's not a recommendation. You stop, because either you get a ticket or either you go into a car accident. Maybe you'll be lucky and there's no other cars and you can cross. And that's it. But in some cases you're not lucky. Why do you stop? Mainly because you're afraid to get a ticket. Because if you get a ticket, it's going to cost you money, then you're going to lose your license. Or if a person is stupid, that he's afraid, he's saying, okay, there's going to be a car accident. But you don't really stop because you're saying that's the law. That's the second thought. The reality is that you're like afraid. If there wouldn't be a policeman, just keep on driving. Same thing in this world. What stops us from doing? The Torah comes and gives me laws. Don't do this. There's a reason why there's a law, by the way. The Torah didn't come to bother me or to annoy me. The Torah came to tell me this is what you're allowed to do, this is what you're not allowed to do, and there's a reason for that. And if the Torah comes and tells me don't eat pork, it's not to annoy me or to make my diet not how I want to. Because everything in this world, the teachings of Kabbalah explain to us that everything in the world has a godly spark that enlivens that thing. Everything has it. Animals have it, trees, vegetables, everything has this godly spark in it. And I have a godly spark in it. Now if I put the two godly sparks that have to be together, then something good comes out of it. But if I put the wrong spark together, it will be a short circuit. So the Torah came and made my life very simple. All these animals, if you eat, short circuit. Something's going to explode inside. If you do this and this and this action, it's going to damage your Neshamah. That's it. It's not like the Hashem is mean, standing with a baseball bat waiting to hit you. He tells you, no, don't touch it. Your little kid comes and puts the hand in the wall, in the socket. He doesn't understand. He doesn't see the electricity. 2-year-old kid, he doesn't know. But you right away, no. You'll get hurt. The Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us a whole book and tells us, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. You'll get hurt. So that's why we have to follow the Torah. But regardless of that, everything that you do in this world, one day they show it to you. So they showed me also every little thing. Because the Kadosh Baruch Hu knows our thoughts, knows everything. So for 1 second in your day, you stop your day and you do a mitzvah. The whole day, you do what you need to do. You run your business, you eat, you drink, you sleep. 1 second when you leave your house, you touch the mezuzah. 3 seconds, I remembered that there's a Kadosh Baruch Hu. You know it's a mitzvah to know that there's a Kadosh Baruch Hu. It's a mitzvah. So Hashem told you here, I'll put something on your door that every time you go out of the door you'll kiss it. Why you kiss the mezuzah? Why? Why? You stop for 1 second and you say, Kadosh Baruch Hu, there's a boss. There's somebody out there protecting me. You look in the mezuzah, it has the letters Shin Daled Yud. It's one of Hashem's name, but it's the acronym of Shomer Dlatot Israel, the gatekeeper. Kadosh Baruch Hu Shomer Alai, it guards me. But just remember me for a few minutes. Like you tell your child goes to a trip. Call once a week, so I see you, you're alive. Send me a text. How much nachat do you get when your kid sends you on WhatsApp pictures? Look, I'm having fun. So you're happy. Oh, Baruch Hashem, he's having fun. My kids now go to summer camp. They send me pictures. So it gives me nachat.
I have a question. Not everybody is children of God.
Not everybody is?
Muslim, the Christian, everybody. God created them.
Yeah.
What's wrong with them?
Nothing's wrong with them.
Why, if they eat, is not kosher? Why?
Because their Neshamah, their soul is built different. The easiest way to explain it, take 2 cars. One car works on gas, the other one works on diesel. If you're going to put in one of the car, put in your car now instead of gas, put milk.
Yeah, but
It's going to ruin the engine.
Hashem created everybody.
Yes, but different.
They also have Olam Haba.
Yeah. The only difference between us and the rest of the world is the body is the same. But the soul is different. And since the soul is different, so the non-Jews also have mitzvot. The fact that they don't do it, that's a whole different thing. The non-Jews have 7 mitzvot. And they have to do it. And it's our job to teach them. The fact that they believe in all sorts of nonsense, that's their problem. I know Jews that believe in nonsense. We got 613 mitzvot and the non-Jews got 7 mitzvot. No difference. I'm running on unleaded fuel and they're running on diesel. Same thing. Different fuel. And non-Jews are part of the system. This is the biggest mistake that Jews think that I'm so special and they're not. It's not true. And you see it in many communities you go, you see how they treat the non-Jews, it's disgusting. Goy. It's a big chilul Hashem.
But if we had the unity, we wouldn't have that much war.
Of course, but go get everybody to have unity.
I mean, if there was no religion, we would believe one thing.
There's only one religion, is believing in God.
Yeah, but we see in Israel, everything is getting Arab and Jews because
The whole world is a mess. We're not going to be able to fix it. But you're right. You know, when we got the Torah, we weren't called Jews. We were called Bnei Israel, the sons of Israel. There wasn't such a thing, Jews. All the Torah, you're not going to find the word Yehudi in the Torah. Bnei Israel, the sons of Israel. You're right. There's no such thing as religion. It's believing in the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And the Muslims have to believe in the Kadosh Baruch Hu. They do, actually. The Christians have to believe in the Kadosh. We're all cousins. Because we all came from one person. So we're cousins with everybody, technically. The problem is that after 3,000, 4,000 years, everybody's fighting like any other family. Pull now, any family in this world is fights. Why? Why? So the same way that you're fighting with your cousin, she's fighting with her uncle, everybody's fighting. You bring everybody a family to a family reunion, everybody has problems. Oh, 30 years ago he did this to me. So 3,000 years ago, there was a fight, and now everybody's carrying anger. You're right. We don't need that. If now, somehow, you get everybody together and you say, let's stop fighting, right? Yeah, that's what Mashiach is going to do. The problem is now, everybody has an ego. It's my land. You took it from me. You owe me. You conquered me. That's why everybody's fighting. So in general, your idea, yeah, you're right, yeah. There's no point of fighting. Each one has his land. Each one has his job. We all have to believe in one God. We all have to do what God tells me. I don't have to call myself Jewish. I call myself God-fearing. That's why we want Mashiach. Mashiach is going to come, make seder everything. This is your country. This is your country. This is your money. This is his money.
everyone can bring the Mashiach for himself or for yourself too.
Yeah.
You can bring it for yourself and you can grow.
Of course, you have to first bring it to yourself, but even if you don't bring it for yourself, but we still need it to come for the entire world. But very few people reach to the point that they bring the Mashiach to themselves. That's why I said before that your entire work, your ego is what stops you from bringing your own redemption. That's why if you work on it, some people work on themselves, they refine themselves like this diamond, and then they bring themselves to a level that they're living in their own redemption. But that's their private redemption. Now go bring it for the entire world.
Going back to Neshamah, it might sound silly, but does Neshamah have a female or
Yeah.
male character?
Yeah,
And
it's
when-
not silly.
And when they reincarnate, they always go into female?
Usually the female will go into the female and the male will go in the male.
So they have the essence of being female or male?
Yeah.
But when we come back, we can be change the sex.
Usually it's the same gender.
Really?
Yeah. That's what the Arizal says. The Arizal, the Ari Kadosh says usually it will be the same gender and also look more or less the same.
But it can be, because the book I was reading is a true story about the doctor that he tried to hypnotize them. His patient went to the other life and the masters came and talked to him.
Yeah.
And then he said, this lady went back, maybe coming back and forth, 86 times, 87, whatever times. But each time of her life, she was either man or woman,
Could
or
be.
Muslim or not Muslim
Yeah.
or Jewish, and said never hate the Jews or never hate the Muslim because you're going to come back in the same way that
That's
you
why,
hated.
that's why you have a lot of
But
converts.
then we can come back as a female or
Yeah,
man.
there's no rules. In reincarnation, there's no black and white.
How about when they come back as an animal?
That can happen too.
You cannot come as an animal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
You can come back as a tree. Yeah.
Oh,
You can come back in a stone.
Is it good or bad?
It's bad.
What
It's a
kind
punishment.
of makes somebody,
What?
there's a kind of big sin involved. That
Yeah. If Chas v'Shalom a person did some bad sins, they can come back in an animal. In a tree, in a
So when
stone.
they come back in the animal, they come as a female, comes as a female.
There's no rules here. There's no, you can't say, oh, it always will happen like this.
but to me, the animal is the most pure and innocent creature in the world.
It depends on the animal. Some of the animals are mean and they're evil and they're vicious. Depends on the animal. Look at a nice little doggy, you're saying, oh, cute doggy. But look at a vicious, I don't know, a jackal, a vicious hyena. Animals always, they have animals, some animals are very good and some animals are not. Some animals, their nature is not a good nature. Even in the animals, you can see sometimes a dog, the best dog ever. Sometimes you see a dog crazy, bites everybody. So,
outside the Olam Haba, like the person who passes away, the first year the Neshamah is still here, and afterwards goes on.
Yeah.
What does can you explain about that?
that's a 14-hour lecture to explain what happens to the Neshamah. When the soul dies, the Neshamah has different levels, different components.
7 levels?
No, 5.
5?
And the Nefesh, which is the lowest part of the Neshamah, stays next to the grave for a whole year. And once the body gets decomposed, then it leaves, it goes up.
That's why after a year you cannot.
No, during the year you can go to the kevel, to the grave. It's not
After
good.
a year we can go?
Yeah, after a year it's fine. During the first year it's not good to go.
But the Persians, I don't know,
No,
they visit on Father's Day, they go on Shabbat.
The first year or after? So the first year it's not good.
30 days after.
No, you go after a week, you go after 30 days, and at the year, and that's it.
My grandfather passed away 6 months ago, and my grandmother said it's custom.
No, it's not good, so tell her not to. After the first year.
If they go, what's going to happen?
It bothers the neshama, bothers the soul.
It bothers them?
How does it bother? Imagine now the soul doesn't have a body and the child comes to the grave. The same way that the child is crying because the parent died, the parent also sees the child and he can't hug it, can't talk to it. Gives him grief. So you come to the grave the first year. Imagine it doesn't matter, it's just said a father and a child. It bothers the neshama because the neshama, the soul sits next to the grave, and then their child or their daughter or whatever comes. They can't talk to the person.
So the Neshamah get up.
Yeah.
Giving them a little-
Now more than
You
that,
would think vice versa. You would think like they're saying, "Oh,
No.
you have me. You're coming. You remember me."
no.
We always think like that.
Not only that, usually the person will go to the grave, he's going to cry there. He's not going to dance there. So the neshama now sees, imagine now you see your child crying. What do you want to do?
God forbid, cry.
No, you want to hug.
Dance, yeah.
No, let's say now your child falls down, he cries. You pick him up, you hug him. Imagine now a neshama sits at the grave and the child comes and cries. And the neshama can't hug the child. It makes the neshama sad. That it can't comfort the child. So the first year is very not good to go to the grave. After that, go.
What about in Israel?
It doesn't matter, Israel or here. There's no difference.
They go every Rosh Chodesh.
Excuse me?
They go every Rosh Chodesh.
Every Rosh
After the first year.
No, during the first year.
This is not good. Yeah. Of course, people do a lot of things that is not good. I'm just telling you that it's not good.
How about someone has been killed?
Doesn't matter. Same thing. Somebody that gets killed. The thing is that the first year you don't want to go to the grave. It's not good for the Neshamah. After the first year, the soul goes up to Shamayim, then you can go to the grave whenever you want. Yeah. Yeah.
Then they can go after 11.
Yeah.
When my father passed away, after the Shiva, I was in Israel. I came back, I went to sleep the first night. He came to my dream in a very big room with a lot of lights, and I said, I thought you were gone, and he said, I didn't go, I'm near you.
Well, I can't hear you.
He told me, I didn't go, I'm near you. I told him, I thought you were gone. He said, no, I didn't.
She had a dream.
Oh Hashem.
I had a dream. Is it,
Yeah?
does it say something?
How come
Exactly what he said, that he's near
when
you.
they pass, they come to your dream? My
The first year
father-in-law-
they come to the dream a lot. Because the soul is still in the world.
Because my father-in-law came to dream, and the reason we made a Tehillim here, because he came to my dream and put the Tehillim in front of me, the book I had in my bedside, and I didn't know what it is exactly. I said, go read this chapter. And then she asked me, do you want to have it? And I was the president of Sisterhood of the children that you came. And then she asked me, you want to have a Tehillim without knowing? I said, why not? Still I didn't know. And I think that classes which is continue up to night was for me, not everybody else, but mostly for me to learn what is Tehillim. And it was him to introduce it to me. And he came again, a few times. And so many, sometimes I dream, like before my dad passed a year ago, before he passed, I saw my grandmother for the first time, and she gave me a candle, showed me, and go light a candle right now. And the week after my father passed, and I knew what he was sick. And the same thing happened with my uncle. I saw my father this time. And such things happens to me. And my best friend, before she passed, again I saw her, it's not a year almost. I saw her, she passed, and I got up and I came here and I said, I called the children, I said, please go get a rabbi right now, because I think she's going, I didn't say she's going, but she's a critical condition. Take a rabbi, take her. I said, no more. She doesn't want it. I said, she's in coma, she has to get a rabbi. And that day, they didn't listen. That day I was passing by Steamboat Road, and it was dark, and didn't want to go because it was a meeting. I said, I'm not going to go, but I don't know what happened. I passed. And all of a sudden, I said, someone is waving to me. I said, a rabbi in front of me. And I said, come to the car. I said, I got lost. And he was 2 minutes away where he wanted to go. And I said, I'm not going to take you where you want to go. He wanted to call it. I said, I'm not going to take you. And he couldn't speak English very well. I speak Spanish a little bit. He said, I'm in Yeshiva from Argentina, whatever. So I said, I take you take you back here if you go and pray for this lady. And the children was not coming. I said, I don't care what they said. I took him there, and he prayed the day after that she passed.
Wow.
And she came to my dream the day after and said, you're an angel. And I said, I thought, I'm hearing my husband. I said, did you say something to me? He said, no. And it was, why we see all of these dreams?
Because when we go to sleep, our soul leaves the body and goes to Shamayim. Everybody. And then you see everything. Because in Shamayim they see the future. And sometimes you have permission and you come back and something remembers. You remember some things.
So is there anything special I can do after that to pray or something? I think I need to do more. I need to learn more.
Do for yourself or do for...
Myself.
So yeah, of course, you have to do a lot.
Like what?
There's so many things. You choose what's easy for you.
I don't know anything about anything.
So you have to learn. You have to learn how to pray. You have
What's your first
to...
study is you are here.
This is I don't learn now.
Sorry, how did you become alive? Is it possible to explain it?
They took me to hospital.
They
How I became alive? From the Kadosh Baruch Hu. He sent me down to the world. The doctors don't do anything.
So you were seeing everything like when you were in that condition?
Yeah?
Did you gain any special insight after that? I know becoming more observant, but any extra insight that you got from your experience?
Yeah.
That everything is judged.
What did you do?
How is your heart now?
Excuse me?
Your heart condition.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
But any doctor is watching you or under any doctor's care?
No, my heart is perfectly fine. Baruch Hashem.
You should say that way. She has a heart doctor for you.
All comes from the Kadosh Baruch Hu.
You check up every year.
I check up every day. Go to the synagogue. I run the clock. You connect yourself to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Kadosh Baruch Hu is the doctor.
You said we have a mission in this life. How we can find out what is our mission? It's not easy.
Not easy. First of all, and most important,
I think it's in front of us, whatever is
That's
hard
a
for us.
10 hours lecture you have.
No, whatever
no,
is-
first of all and most important is that we are Jews and we have to keep what says in the Torah. And all the Jews are the same. There's no difference between me and you. If I have to eat kosher, you have to eat kosher. If I have to give charity, you have to give charity. I have to pray, you have to pray. We're all the same. There's no difference between Jews. All the Jews are exactly the same. So all the Jews have to keep what it says in the Torah. First of all. Now some things it's easy for you to do. It's easy for you to, I don't know what, have guests in your home. Achnasat orchim. It's easy for you to help somebody. It's easy for you to be honest. There's always some quota of things that it's easy for you. But then you have to look at the things that are not easy for you. And these are the things that you have to continue. Because
That is hard for us. Then
because the Ari HaKadosh, the Holy Ari, says that we have to come down to this world in reincarnations as many as times that we have to do all 613 mitzvot in thought, speech, and action. 3 levels of serving God. In my thoughts, in my speech, and in my action. So I will keep on coming back here all the time. So it could very much be that in a previous life I already did X amount of mitzvot, now I have to do more different mitzvot. So whatever is hardest for me, that's usually what I have to do. If it's hardest for me to say Birkat Hamazon after I eat, then it means I have to do that. If it's hard for me to give charity, it means that I have to do that. So first of all, you have to see what's hard for you to do, and say, okay, these are the mitzvot that are more connected to me. But in regards to your journey in this world, you have to open your eyes and you see what's the talent that the Kadosh Baruch Hu gave you. Everybody has a talent. There's no such a person that doesn't have a talent. Even if you're an amazing cook, that's a talent. You're an amazing baker, doesn't matter what. You know how to sew. Everything, every person has a talent. So you have to see what's my talent, what's my hobby, what's the something that I like the most. Everybody has something they love. One person is to play basketball, one person is to read, one person is to fish, one person is to play chess, whatever. Everybody has a hobby. So you take my talent, my hobby, then you take your profession. You're a lawyer, she's a doctor, that's an architect. Everybody has a profession. Why your profession? Why you chose to be an architect? Why? Yeah, because maybe there's a good money in it or whatever, but there's also something behind your profession. So you take all these things that the Kadosh Baruch Hu gave you, where you live, why you live in New York and not Los Angeles. It's from the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Every little thing, and you put everything together and you can kind of figure out what's going on. Nothing is by chance. Why I was born Persian and not Moroccan? Why? There's a reason for that. So you put all these dots together like a map. It will give you an idea more or less what you have to do. And you take your talent, you take the things you like, your hobby, you take your profession, you take everything and say, well, how am I serving God with it? I have a friend, he's a lawyer, very successful lawyer. So part of the day he has a business, he's running the business, but he does charity with his knowledge. He helps Jews, especially synagogues and organizations that their buildings go into foreclosure. So he goes and helps. He helps them. If they go into foreclosure, they don't have money to pay for a lawyer. So he goes and helps the organization to get the building back. So you can do charity not only with writing a check, but your brain. So you can take everything that you do and you utilize it to how I'm serving God. Everything ultimately, my mission in this world is to serve God. That's why I was created. I wasn't created to be on Facebook all day long. I was created to serve God. So God gave me all the tools. So for me, He gave this knowledge. For you, He gave this knowledge. For you, He gave this knowledge. Each person has certain tools, and He tells, okay, now serve me. So my mission in this world is to serve God, not to enjoy this world, everything in the world that I take is very temporary. A good meal, 20 minutes, then it's digested. A good vacation passes after a week. A car, after 2-3 years, you change it. Very few things stay with us our entire life. Even your home, after 10 years, okay, let's remodel. Let's change the drapes.
Excuse me. Why Hashem needs us to serve Him?
He doesn't.
But you say,
He's giving you a favor. He doesn't need you.
So we have to give Him back the favor?
No, it has nothing to do with a favor. Giving back. We were, before the world was created, we were here, in the spiritual world. We were holding in a certain position. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to give us a bonus, to bring us to a higher level. This is something that our mind will never understand. We cannot understand what does it mean to see the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Why does the soul get pleasure from standing next to Hashem? We don't understand it, and you'll never understand. Don't even try to understand it. But we know that the souls were standing in front of Hashem, seeing the beauty of Hashem, getting unbelievable pleasure from understanding Hashem's wisdom. And then Hashem says, okay, I want to give you a bonus. I want to make you even more closer to me. So the soul says, we don't want it for free. We want it to work for it. If you now have millions and millions of dollars, and you have a little kid, if you're going to just give the kid whatever he wants, that kid is going to be a disaster. Spoiled, ungrateful, thinks he owns everything. You want to do it the right way? You give him slowly, slowly. You want a present, go and work. You want to educate the kid that he doesn't just get everything. Why? Not because you want to give the kid everything, but it's not healthy, because the kid is never going to be appreciative, never going to be thankful, never going to know how to work for himself. A right, smart person. When I grew up, my father was very wealthy. He didn't give me things. He told me, you want, go and work. You know what he would tell me? Oh, you want a motorbike? Okay, how much is the motorbike? 10,000? You bring 2, I'll give 8. So I went to work, to have the idea that I have to work, I have to do something, and my father said, okay, I'll give the rest. And my father was very wealthy. Still. That's not the point. The point is that he was smart. He didn't just give me. So same thing the Kadosh Baruch Hu says, well, if I'm going to give you everything, what's the point? So Hashem says, no, you're going to work, and then I'm going to give you your reward. And how are you going to work? Here, I'm going to give you a lot of mitzvot to do. And every mitzvah you do, I sign a check. And when you go up to Shamayim, you worked. So this amount, here's your check. Of course, it's a spiritual, it's not checks. The more you do in this world, the more you get in the world to come. And then there's no such a thing as fair. It's not fair, it is fair. It's nothing to do with fair. You work, you did mitzvot all day long, here's your sachar, here's the reward in Gan Eden. So that Hashem doesn't need us. He doesn't need us. He's doing us a favor. So I called it serving God, because I'm doing it because He's the master of the universe. But ultimately, when Hashem tells me, okay, you can now learn Torah. Read a couple chapters of Tehillim. Hashem doesn't need your Tehillim, you need it. Yeah. Hashem tells you, I don't need you now to give charity. You're not doing me a favor, you're doing yourself a favor. If you see that all the mitzvot, they all funnel to the same thing, exactly what she said before. Being together in unity and tolerating each other. That's most of the mitzvot. Yeah. To make people close to each other and to understand and love each other. So the point is that Hashem doesn't need us. He's doing us a favor. And He was very smart and nice to us, and He gave us a book and says, okay, this is the manual. Now you buy a new phone, then you read the manual. The manual tells you, don't put the phone in the toilet. Don't put the phone in the microwave. Don't throw the phone out of the window. Turn it off at night. Charge it like this. And you want to do it because you spent a lot of money. You want to make sure the phone's doesn't break down. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, here's the world, here's the manual, listen to the manual, you'll be good. It's not to annoy you. And the Kadosh Baruch Hu tells you don't eat this animal, it's not to annoy you. It's to make sure that you don't hurt yourself. And the Kadosh Baruch Hu tells you don't steal, don't cheat, don't lie, don't gossip. First of all, it's not nice. Let's put it this way. You have to be human. You have to have exactly like she said. And it's Jews and non-Jews. You're not allowed to steal from a Jew or non-Jew. There's no difference. But more than that, it's an act that hurts you. So the Kadosh Baruch Hu says, don't do that. So first of all, as Jews, we have to follow what the Torah says. And we're all the same, whether I like it or not. The Kadosh Baruch Hu didn't consult with me if I like something. Some people say, I like these mitzvot, this I don't like. I don't agree. No. Hashem didn't ask me what I like or what I don't like. Hashem gave me the Torah and tells me, okay, you have to do it. So first of all, my mission in his life is to be a Jew.
Torah is a story. All of it is supposed to be
No, that's what you think it's a story.
But the translation, how do you manage translation?
No, it's not a story.
How you understand what it is?
You have to learn it.
Let's forget.
You have to sit and learn it. If you want to be a doctor, you go to college. You want to be a lawyer, you go to college. You want to be a Jew, then you go to the shul, to yeshiva, to anyone, you learn. And the story is not a story.
It's too late for me to go to yeshiva.
It's not.
Hello.
You know why it's not too late? You know why it's not too late? No.
Sorry.
Hold on, let me answer. You know why it's not too late? 10 years I go and lecture all around the world, right? 10 years. The young men that become religious, I send them to yeshiva. The old men that become religious go at night to the synagogue, kollel, learn. The young ladies that become religious, I send them to go to seminary. And the older ladies have nowhere to go, right? You're saying, I don't know where to go. So you know what the Kadosh Baruch Hu helped me to do? I have the first and only yeshiva for women in Israel. Open it.
Bring it here.
No, look at this.
Open one here.
No, you come to me. Look at this.
Which synagogue you are at?
This is not a synagogue, it's a
The
whole...
one you are.
I live in Israel.
Oh, you live in Israel. Oh, good.
And this is, you know what this?
He used to be here.
Hundreds of women come to learn with us.
Can you establish one here?
No, I want you to come to me.
Israel?
Yeah, you come for 10 days.
10 days you can come?
We have groups that they come for 10 days, for a week, for 2 weeks. Look at the rooms you have.
I came with, Moshe.
JW.
Who?
JW Educate.
Jewish women.
A lady took us in Israel
Mhm.
for the
So how does it work? We come
For the
here
same
for 10 days and
But
it's
different
a lesson
organizations.
Yeah, we have programs.
for 10 days.
Some is a week, some is 10 days, some is 3 days, some is 2 weeks.
And how often? When is the next
All the
one
time.
starting?
All the time. We form the groups because I want the groups to know each other. I don't want it
This
Bring
group
it
wants
from
to
here,
go.
just in here.
to anywhere. They're from America, yeah.
10 days?
So if
Be'er Miriam.
if we want to come,
Be'er Miriam, the well of Miriam. Yeah, that's how it is. I have a girl, she builds groups. Look, did you see the rooms?
Yeah, I see it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But we cannot come from the middle.
No,
In 10 days, how you can learn everything, first of all?
first, no, you can't learn in 10 days,
Okay?
but you get something. And then we have a lot of classes on the internet. And you can continue your learning on the internet.
I'm
And
going to learn it from in internet until I come to Israel.
so what are you asking with groups? I have a girl, she builds groups. We don't bring a group. I don't want to bring you and a woman from South Africa and a woman from Brazil. Doesn't make sense.
That's what we did.
No. So well, first of all, we have groups like that. But the point,
group right now.
yeah, and women come, we have beautiful rooms. This is,
How much is it?
Beautiful.
depends on how long and what type of group you take. So each one is different. But you have a first class, five-star rooms. And you learn your food, everything.
It's in Jerusalem, right?
Tzfat.
I live in Jerusalem.
And look at the, this is the view. This is the view.
I saw. It's gorgeous.
This is right in the old city. This is the view.
Wow.
So women also can learn, and you come for 10 days.
I can make it too.
Yeah.
What are the subjects?
Depends on the level of the group. If the group is completely beginners, so we learn all the laws of kosher and Shabbat and everything. All this depends on the group, because some groups are very, very beginners. They don't know nothing. And some groups are more advanced. They know things. We have classes of Kabbalah, classes of Zohar, everything.
Maybe God willing,
Hmm?
maybe in future, we should put such a thing also.
Here,
Wouldn't be able to leave their houses for 10 years. I think it's a good idea to.
slowly. You know how much money it costs us just to they get this?
I can. How the young people from what age they go? I mean, any age
Yeah,
before they get married.
yeah. I mean, there's enough things for young people.
I want.
But everywhere that I go, the older ladies, they don't have where to go.
I want my son. Remember I spoke to you about
Yeah?
doing that?
The point with this is it's in a beautiful place.
I have to send him to you.
So older women also learn. And they come, yeah, so you can't come for 5 months, you come for 2 weeks. Trust me, 2 weeks.
How many hours is it?
It depends on the group. Beginner groups, they get a couple hours. The more advanced groups, they get more hours. It really depends on the group.
Let's put down your name. Number.
The what? I can't hear you. Too much talking.
Are you interested?
I read in the book as a soul.
But you want
Our past.
Pete?
Choose.
Oh, choose. Yes, yes.
What direction to take.
Yeah, yeah,
Who's to be our king?
yeah. No, the kids you don't choose. The kid chose you. But yeah, you can choose. That, if your soul has merit in Shamayim, they tell you, you choose. But if the soul doesn't have merit, they take it, they put it into the body. But if you have the merit, you can choose. Ladies, I gotta go. I have another class and a meeting in Brooklyn. But first of all,